The Ichimoku indicator has several components, and it's the Ichimoku cloud that seems to get the most attention. But there is another component called the Chikou Span, and this can provide really valuable intelligence about the sentiment around an asset, and therefore help more informed trading decisions. Stay tuned. Darwinex is a UK FCA regulated broker and asset manager on a mission to disrupt the financial trading, investing and asset management industries. If you're a talented trader looking to attract investor capital to your strategies, Darwinex is the fastest way for you to do this. We enable traders to raise third-party investor capital and then charge success fees on high watermark profits. Additionally, Darwinex itself invests in its traders with our seed capital allocation program that allocates up to €90 million per year in successful trading strategies. So, if all of that sounds interesting, learn more by clicking on the link here, or you can find further links in the description right below. Now back to today's tutorial. The Chikou Span, sometimes called the lagging span, can provide valuable information when combined with other components of the Ichimoku indicator. This is all part of the Spotlight on Indicators series, and so far in our study of Ichimoku, I've covered the Tenkan Sen and the Kijun Sen components. And this time I study the third line of the indicator called the Chikou Span. As I work through various charts today, I've dulled out the other components of the Ichimoku and specifically highlighted the Chikou Span, as you can see here, because this is what we'll be focusing most of our attention on. Now, the Chikou Span is often known as the lagging span, for reasons that you'll see in a moment. And this is designed to provide an indication of sentiment for the asset. And more precisely, it provides an indication of what the prevailing trend is in relation to current price momentum. And I always feel that it helps to understand the calculation behind an indicator, but in this case I have to put calculation in quotes. And that's because it really doesn't warrant being called a calculation. It's too simple for that. And the Chikou Span is determined by simply plotting the closing prices 26 periods behind the actual price action. And because of that, that gives you an indication of why it might be called the lagging span. So let's take a look at this on a chart. And when studying the Chikou Span, I always find that it helps not to use candlesticks, but instead to use a line chart based on closed prices. And you can see that here alongside the Chikou Span. And so immediately now you can see the similarity between these two. And if we take any two similar points on each of these curves, then these are 26 bars apart, and that applies to every point on the lines. So let's now move on to how this line is interpreted. And this is subtly different to the interpretation of the majority of indicators. So when we're using these to try to inform our trading decisions, we of course always have to make those decisions here at the right hand side of the chart where the current price action is right now. And with the vast majority of indicators, we'd also be looking at what the indicator value was at this time, or maybe what it is at this time compared to what it was on previous bars. But with the Chikou Span, it's different. When we're making decisions here at the right hand side of the chart, we of course need to concentrate our efforts on the interpretation of the Chikou Span right back here. And you'll notice that I've drawn a white vertical line through the most recent point of the Chikou Span. And that's because typically we will be comparing what the value of this is to the other Ichimoku components at this time. So we might be comparing it to where the Ichimoku cloud was at this time, or maybe the Tenkan Sen or Kijun Sen. And additionally, we might want to know where it is in relation to the price action at this time, 26 bars ago. And so it's on this left-hand vertical line that our assessment needs to take place. Now, in the next episode, I'll be talking specifically about what those rules might be. But I first just wanted to issue a big thank you. And it's a thank you to everyone who responded to my request and put forward an indicator for me to evaluate as part of this trading series. And at the time of filming this episode, there were 16 requests made, and although of course I won't be able to cover all of these, I have identified maybe 3 or 4 that I think show great potential and are definitely indicators that I'll enjoy researching and also testing. And all of those results, of course, I will share with you. Okay, so in the next episode, as I said, I'll be looking a little bit more at the rationale behind Chikou Span and also illustrating how this is used as part of a wider trading strategy. Following this, I'm going to be moving on to what's probably the best known component of Ichimoku, which is the cloud or the Kumo. Okay, it's been great having you here for another episode. Remember to hit that like button, and now until next time, trade safe.